Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and today I am going to review the Huawei Watch 2. This is the Sport Edition. It comes in Classic and Sport in a couple different colors, and I really like this watch. Now, I have had a lot of Android Wear watches, or now it's called Wear OS. And I actually just recently did a video and a post on stateoftech.net on the best Wear OS watches, and it's going to take me some time to get used to saying it that way. The best Wear OS watches of 2018. And this is one of them because it's one of the newest ones to come out. Obviously, there hasn't been a whole lot of movement in the whole Android watch space or Wear OS watch space, but Huawei has definitely been producing some nice stuff and leading the way with their products. And so this being one of my first Huawei products ever. I've had a Huawei phone, but this is the first Huawei watch that I've ever had, and I really do like it. Now, the reason I'm wearing a Fitbit with it is just because I like to use my Fitbit as kind of a control so that I can see how accurate the step counts and all that stuff and the sleep tracking and everything is on a device. So I wear kind of the two of them together for a while. I've had this watch for a couple of weeks now. Of course, I've been wearing my Fitbit for ages, but I just keep them side by side initially so that I can see how accurate they are. So let me talk about some of the things that I absolutely love about this watch. I love the battery life. I'm able to get like 3 to 4 days of battery life out of this watch. It's fantastic. Considering the fact that it's always tracking your heart rate, and during the sleep time, it's tracking your heart rate and everything too, and tracking your sleep. That's really long battery life for an Android watch, or for a Wear OS watch. There it is again. So I've just been impressed with this watch and its accuracy as well. It's not a highly customizable watch out of the box. I mean, you know, it only comes with like, I think 2 watch faces installed, which, you know, isn't a whole lot. Yeah, 2. There's basically like a kind of a more basic one and an outdoor one, which I tend to use, the outdoor one. But that's okay. I don't, you know, really customize my watches too much. I just go with what's functional and doesn't look like cheap, essentially, because some of those watch faces don't look that good. I like the design of the watch. It feels good. I don't like the fact that you can't like set it flat, you know, it tips over. That's just kind of something that has to do with the watch band here. Now, the watch bands are replaceable. I didn't think they were going to be at first because the watch band comes up over the casing so much, but they are replaceable. If you look on the bottom, you can use the quick release here to release the watch band and pop it off, and you're going to be able to replace this with another watch band very easily. I definitely like that, and you could actually see the speaker ports here underneath the watch band strap. The standard watch bands that it comes with are a little tricky to get back on. There's just really tight tolerances. It's it's going to take me a minute to get this back on and not have it pop back off on me. I kind of have to wiggle it around a little bit, and it's been a real pain in the butt, so I hope you appreciate me pulling this off and showing it to you guys. So it has 2 buttons over on the side. One button is for accessing your apps. The other button is for accessing workout mode, and you can kind of change a little bit of the functionality of it. Workout mode takes a little bit of time to start up. What's nice about this is that it has active GPS in it, so even if you're not connected to your phone, you wanted to leave your phone at home and go for a run or something like that, GPS is going to work, and it's going to be very accurate. That's something that I like about this watch, because a lot of other watches really rely on the GPS or the connectivity of your phone to be able to get you a good location triangulation. So 316L grade steel, that's surgical quality steel, that's stainless steel that this is made out of. It has the Snapdragon Wear 2100 quad core in it. It is IP68 water and dust resistant, which is great because that means that you can take this swimming with you and you're not going to have any problems with it. It is running Wear OS now. It updated to Wear OS just pretty much immediately after I got it out of the box. Well, no, it was a couple days later because Wear OS officially became available. I think it was like 3 days after I'd got this. So it was nice to have an upgrade so soon. 768 megabytes of RAM, 4 gigs of internal storage. The 1.2-inch display I think is a little small for me. Considering the size of my wrist and my hands, I like having a little bit bigger watch, bigger watch face. I think that there's an awful lot of bezel on this watch. I think that on these smartwatches, having less bezel is really more important to make room for more screen or more display size. It has Bluetooth 4.0 LE, Corning Gorilla Glass. It has several different sensors. You can go and check out the post down below, which will include all the specs for you, so you can check that out. It's really touch responsive. I was playing Cosmo Run on it, and Cosmo Run is kind of a fun game. It's a challenging game, but it's a fun game to play, and it really lets me kind of test the touch responsiveness of the watches. So definitely a fun game to check out. I've noticed that when you do load several apps on the watch, it does start to get a little bit laggy. That's not a Huawei Watch 2 kind of specific thing here. It really does happen on pretty much every Wear OS watch, is that it starts to get a little laggy if you've been jumping between too many apps. I mean, it does only have 768 megabytes of RAM, which is more than most other watches, which have 512. But still, nonetheless, that's going to happen if you're jumping around between games and other apps on the watch. Now, let's just kind of go through some of the settings here. It has most standard settings, that you would typically get here, but it has some gesture-specific settings, like some wrist gestures that you can take advantage of. If you toggle those on, I decided to turn them all off. I just like it to wake when I rotate the watch or rotate my wrist towards me. Sound is important. It does have an internal speaker, as you heard, which is great for if you're going to wear this all night, for it to track your sleep. I think it's really important because, you can have it be an alarm in the morning. Even if it's sitting on your nightstand, having it be an audible alarm, I think is also pretty good. Notifications are good. It doesn't have the flat tire at the bottom, which most of these watches don't anymore, but notifications, everything's pretty snappy. I like the functionality. I like that the top button here is essentially also kind of your back button. It makes it easier. The button down here is a little harder to get to. Not end of the world, though. The heart rate monitor is pretty responsive and fast to update. On this watch face, you just simply tap on it and it's going to start reading your heart rate and give you an update pretty quickly here. And then it actually gives you live updates. So you can see my heart rate right now is 58, 56. Which is great. That's about where it normally is. Let me grab my phone here because I think it's important to show you some of the information that the watch will collect. So I need to find the Huawei Health app here. And you can see the Huawei Health app essentially gives you your steps, your heart rate, your sleep, exercise. You can customize this a little bit. I just have it showing me kind of the most important things for me. So I love the fact that it gives a consistent heart rate. That's one thing that I like about the Apple Watch that I have, is that it gives me that consistent heart rate throughout the day. I like to track that, and then it also does really good with the sleep tracking. I love that it gives you a sleep quality score. I think that that's a great thing to have. It also gives you a lot of details about your sleep here, which is fantastic. It's very in-depth information. It's actually a little bit more in-depth than what you get on an Apple Watch, which is great. And then here with your heart rate, it gives you kind of, all of your heart rate zones and everything based on your age and your weight. I just like the app is simple, but it definitely gives you a lot of good data. Now, the problem with this data is that it pretty much stays there. There isn't really too much of a way for a lot of that specific data to sync in with Google Fit, which I find Google Fit is kind of that main home for all of the fitness data. You want all of that fitness data syncing into Google Fit. It definitely does sync in your steps and your activity and stuff like that. But from what I understand, I've never been able to find a way for me to get my heart rate and all of that stuff into Google Fit. It's just something that I wish that it had. It's not a Huawei specific thing. It's one of the reasons why I kind of keep going back to an Apple Watch. There's just one home for all of your fitness information. Whereas once I stop using this Huawei watch, then all of that data just lives in the Huawei watch forever. So one way around that, I guess, would be to use, while we're talking about heart rate and whatnot, I don't think I have that app on here right now, but I have it on my other phone. It's the cardiogram app. The cardiogram app would sync all of that information, and I can keep it all up to date and whatnot, and regardless of what device I'm using. But I have diverted, so I apologize. Let's get back to talking about the watch. So I like the fact that the watch has an internal speaker that's extremely loud, which means I can listen to music or whatever. Phone calls are really loud and nice on this watch. Syncing it with headphones for Bluetooth is fantastic because if you have some music saved on the device, very effective there. The display options for toggling through music and everything are easy to get to. So far, I've just found that this watch is pretty exceptional considering its price and everything. The watch band feels pretty good. I don't know if I would have rather gone with the classic watch band or not. I think I like this watch band because it's more made out of like a urethane, and it's going to be better if I sweat a little bit or something like that. The crown and everything being ceramic, I mean, it's just a very well-built watch. It's very strong. It's going to take a beating, and I like that fact about the watch. So this watch, being one of the most current ones to come out, definitely has the most new features in it. It has a whole huge list of features, and you can see all of those specs at the link down below. There's also a link to where you could pick it up on Amazon. That's where I picked up this one. If you want to check that out, definitely click on that link. It helps support our channel here. This is a watch that I purchased with my own money. Huawei did not send this to me, so nothing in this video I'm being paid to say, unless of course you click on the link below, then I guess maybe I am getting paid a little bit, but that's what helps us keep the lights on here at State of Tech. So let me know what your thoughts are. Have you had a Huawei watch before? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. The written review and more information is available on stateoftech.net. I've got a link to that down in the description below. So let me know what you think. Click on that like button if you like this video. Click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel and be notified when new videos come out. Until then, definitely go and check out this Huawei Watch 2. I think it's going to be one of the better watches available here in 2018 for Wear OS. So if you're looking for a new watch, this might just have to be one that you consider. Definitely check it out. Until next time, I hope to see you back here soon on State of Tech.